As Allah has mentioned in the Quran, embrace Islam completely and avoid Shaitan's path. Indeed, he is your bitter enemy. Satan, or Iblis, is a complex and intriguing figure in Islamic theology. The Quran repeatedly warns believers to be aware of Satan's tricks and to seek refuge in Allah from his whispers and temptations. Let's learn what caused the first turmoil on earth and what were the turn of events behind his creation. Shaitan is a jinn. In Holy Quran, it is mentioned that Allah created jinn and angels before humans. Angels are believed to be spiritual beings created by Allah to carry out various tasks on his behalf. In Islamic belief, angels are messengers of Allah and do not have the capacity for free will or disobedience. They are purely obedient to Allah's commands and are believed to be without sin or error. On the other hand, Allah also created an entity purely from fire. We know them as jinn. They are believed to be capable of both good and evil deeds and can choose to follow or disobey Allah's commands. They are said to be responsible for many of the unexplainable occurrences in the world, such as possession or supernatural events. However, not all supernatural or unexplainable events are believed to be caused by jinn. Like humans, jinn are also accountable for their actions on the Day of Judgment, and those who do good will be rewarded, while those who do evil will be punished. Besides that, according to some folktales, it is stated that Samhu'un jinn was the first jinn created by Allah. He, along with his wife, were sent down to earth, where they continued their family, and in no time, jinn gained a mass population. Do you know that before humans inhabited earth, it served as a home for different beings? In the beginning, they all continued to live peacefully on earth, spending time in worshiping Allah. But with time, there was a fuss created among them, and some jinn went against the orders of Allah and disobeyed him. In these troublemongers jinn, there was a very famous and brave one. His name was Chalupa, and his wife Tabriz was also famous for being brave and having a face like a wolf. They both had a kid one day and they named him Azazel. He was very brave like his parents. However, this is mere speculation. No concrete evidence is found about Iblis's parents in Islam. It is stated that 50,000 years before the creation of Adam and Eve, jinns went too far in their disobedience. Seeing this situation, Allah ordered his loyal angels to go to earth and tell them to live according to his rules. But they were out of hand. They refused the sayings of Allah once again. This then caused the first great war between angels and jinn. The scene was terrifying, but Allah's loyal servants, the angels, ended up in defeating the fussy jinn. After the war, Azazel's parents were found dead among many. The angels took the remaining jinn to the skies as prisoners with the order of Allah. Among these prisoners, Azazel was there too. After being taken into the skies, Allah ordered his angels to look after Azazel and teach him Islam and the way of life. Time passed and he became a good angel of Allah who remained busy in worshiping him. After spending 20,000 years, Allah promoted Azazel to the head of angels. He then began to teach all angels, including Hazrat Jabrail. But now it was time for a throne to fall. When God created Adam, he ordered all the angels and jinn to bow down to him as a sign of respect. While the angels obeyed, Azazel refused, claiming that he was superior to Adam because he was created from fire, while Adam was created from clay. He also earned himself a new name, Iblees. When Satan, or Iblis, was expelled from paradise after refusing to bow down to Adam as Allah commanded, he made a request to Allah. Satan asked Allah to give him respite until the Day of Judgment, promising to lead humans astray and to tempt them to disobey Allah. Allah granted Satan's request, but also warned him that he would have no power over those who believed and followed Allah's guidance. Satan responded to Allah, saying, "Because you have put me in error, I will surely sit and wait for them on your straight path. Then I will come to them from before them, and from behind them, and on their right and on their left, and you will not find most of them grateful to you." Quran 7 verses 16 to 17. This response shows Satan's arrogance and determination to lead humans astray, despite Allah's warning. Muslims are advised to seek refuge in Allah from Satan's temptations and to follow Allah's guidance to protect themselves from his deception. He placed Adam in paradise and gave him a partner, Eve, created from one of Adam's ribs. Adam and Eve were the first humans created by Allah. Allah allowed Adam and Eve to eat from any tree in paradise except for one, warning them that if they ate from it, they would become among the wrongdoers. However, Satan deceived them, convincing them to eat from the forbidden tree, promising them that they would become immortal and gain knowledge. Adam and Eve ate from the tree and realized they were naked, and they felt ashamed. Allah then expelled them from paradise and sent them to earth, telling them that they would live there and die. Adam and Eve were separated on earth and were reunited after many years when they both prayed to Allah to show them the way back to each other. They were forgiven by Allah for their mistake and were given guidance on how to live their lives on earth. In Islamic tradition, Adam and Eve are considered the parents of humanity, and all humans are descended from them. They were also the first prophets and taught people about Allah and His guidance. The story of Adam and Eve serves as a lesson for Muslims about the consequences of disobedience to Allah's commands and the deception of Satan. It also teaches the importance of seeking forgiveness from Allah and following His guidance to live a righteous life. Shaitan whispers evil suggestions to humans, urging them to indulge in sinful behavior. He exploits humans' weaknesses and vulnerabilities such as greed, lust, and pride. Shaitan's whisperings can be subtle and persuasive, making it challenging for humans to resist them. Shaitan often distorts the truth to mislead humans. He uses half-truths and partial information to create confusion and doubt in humans' minds. He also uses humans' ignorance or lack of knowledge to present false information as the truth. Shaitan appeals to humans' desires and passions, encouraging them to indulge in their desires without regard for morality or consequences. He presents sinful behavior as pleasurable and enjoyable, creating an illusion of happiness and satisfaction. He creates doubt and despair in humans' minds by making them question their faith and the goodness of Allah. He convinces humans that they are too sinful or weak to seek forgiveness or change their ways, leading them toward a path of hopelessness and despair. On top of that, Shaitan diverts humans' attention from their spiritual obligations by creating distractions and temptations. He makes humans focus on worldly pleasures and material possessions, leading them away from the path of righteousness. Muslims are taught to recognize and resist Shaitan's tactics and methods through prayer, fasting, and Quran reciting. They are also encouraged to cultivate virtues such as humility, piety, and self-control, which can help them resist the temptations of Shaitan and stay on the path of righteousness. Protection against Shaitan is a fundamental aspect of Islamic belief, and Muslims are encouraged to seek refuge from his temptations through prayer, remembrance of Allah, and good deeds. Muslims are taught to seek refuge in Allah from the temptations and whisperings of Shaitan. This can be done by reciting the A'udhu billahi min ash-shaytanir rajim, I seek refuge in Allah from the accursed Satan, at the beginning of any act of worship or whenever they feel the influence of Shaitan. The Quran is believed to be a powerful weapon against Shaitan, and Muslims are encouraged to recite it regularly. The recitation of the Quran is supposed to create a protective barrier around the person, shielding them from the influence of Shaitan. We, as Muslims, are encouraged to perform good deeds and strive towards righteousness as a means of protection against Shaitan. The more one engages in worship and good acts, the stronger their faith, and the less susceptible they become to Shaitan's temptations. Besides that, we are also encouraged to avoid sinful behavior as it weakens their faith and makes them more susceptible to Shaitan's temptations. Avoiding immoral behavior can be challenging, but Muslims need to maintain their spiritual health and protect themselves from the influence of Shaitan. The company one keeps can significantly impact their faith and susceptibility to Shaitan's influence. Muslims are encouraged to maintain good company, surround themselves with people who inspire them toward righteousness, and avoid the company of those who lead them toward sin and disobedience. Muslims are encouraged to perform prayer and fasting to protect against Shaitan's influence. Prayer and fasting help to strengthen one's faith and discipline, making them more resistant to Shaitan's temptations. By practicing these protective measures, Muslims can strengthen their faith, resist the temptations of Shaitan, and lead a satisfying life to Allah. The existence of Shaitan serves as a test of faith for Muslims and allows them to demonstrate their commitment to Allah and their ability to resist temptation. Remember to subscribe to our channel to get the latest Islamic world insights. If you want to learn more about historical Islamic events like this, click on the video links on your screens to watch our other videos in a similar domain.